Welcome back. In this session, we are going to install the Power BI desktop application in our workstation. Then I'll give you a quick introduction on how to use the tool with our data in the SQL database. One important thing to note is that Power BI is only available for Windows operating systems. So if you're on a Mac, you will need a Windows VM to install the application. So you could use something like VirtualBox or VMware to do it. Here I am in the Windows 11 machine. Let's go to the browser and we just need to search for Power BI download. Okay, click on the top link here, powerbi.microsoft.com. And under Downloads, you've got the downloads available. So the one we want is the Power BI desktop. Either you can click on the download and that will open up the App Store. And then you can download from there, or you can go to Advanced Download Options and you should be able to click Download here and you'll see the executable you want. So most of the computers nowadays are 64-bit, so this is the one you want if that's the case. Otherwise, you go for this one and click Download and that will download executable. And then you can install the executable on your laptop per computer. I have already installed Power BI on this laptop, so let me open Power BI. And I'll quickly walk you through the user interface we got here. So you will be developing your reports here, and these are the visualization options you can use. And once we've imported the data, you'll see the fields here, and we'll select the fields. We want to get into the reports from there as well. And the options you've got is actually this is going to show you the report, and this will show you the data. And this will show you the data models once we've imported the data. So let's start with getting the data from our database. So click on the Get Data and then click on More from here. Click on Azure and click on the Azure SQL Database and click Connect. So we need to now give in the details about the server. So to get the details about the server, we need to go to the Azure portal and grab the details. So we are here in Azure portal and we are into the COVID-DB overview page, and from here you can see the server name here. Now click on Copy icon to copy the name. So we should now paste the server name here. And our database name is COVIDDB. Copy this text as well. And paste it in the database text box here. And they got the option to either import or direct query. The difference is that direct query will always access the database to get the data whenever you access the report, whenever you refresh the report. So let's click on direct query and click OK. And now we'll have to give our credentials for our database. So if you have single sign-on, then you can use your Windows credentials. But I'm going to use the database credentials here. If you remember, we created a user called admin or ADM in my case. And let me key in the password for that as well. And click Connect. Here we are not able to connect as our IP address is not allowed. So how to resolve it? Over here in this message you will notice that it is also suggest to run sp-set-fire all rule command. But we will resolve it differently. So let's resolve it and then we will try again. So let's go to the Azure portal. And you will notice here we have an option called Set Server Firewall. Click on that. And you will notice here it is giving an option called Add Your Client IPv4 Address. Click on that. This will add the IP address into the allowed list. That's it. Now go back to Power BI Desktop and try to connect again. So as you can see, it's brought back all our tables. So we got the case and deaths, hospital admissions, and testing. So let's select all of those for now and click Load. So all of the tables have now been brought in. So we got the fields listed here. As you can see, all of those tables and the fields are there. And you've got the visualization options here. And if you wanted to create a link between these tables, you can create them as well. So let's not worry about that for now and come back to the report. And let's start with doing something simple. Let's start with a card. So this is going to have some information. So let's put in our number of cases in this card. So if you select the field, then that'll appear. So that is 9 million. And if you wanted to say, for example, hide the category label, then you would just turn that off, then you wouldn't see that because we've already got the confirmed cases there. And you can play around with this. You might be wondering how we brought in the cases count and it's given us the total cases. That happens in this tab here on the fields. As you can see here, we brought in the cases count and it's automatically given us the sum. You can also add the title and change the color background of the title. Okay, let me show you something a bit more involved in this case. Let's bring in a stacked column chart. Before you click on that, you want to click on the report so that it's not going to replace that. And then click on the stacked column chart. You can move this around wherever you want it. So let's put these in the middle of the report. And for this one, because it's a chart, you would want a couple of columns. So let's do the cases count by reported date. So let's select the reported date and then let's select the cases count here. So as you can see, it's created a chart for us. With the cases count, it is giving us the chart from the date we got data available. If we wanted to narrow it down, we got another option called slider within here. So let's bring one of those. So that's kind of similar to a filter. And let's put reported date on that. So you got a nice slider here, and let's put it in here. And then you can say, okay, give me everything from June onwards. So it's now going to give you data, show you data only from June. So it makes a bit more sense now. So you're seeing everything, but you can drag it in as much as you want it. So as you can see here, we got a nice peak. So from end of September, beginning of October onwards, the number of cases went up quite a lot within Europe. And it is fortunately slowly coming down, which is good news. So again, if you wanted to format one of these, so for example, the chart that we created, you would come in here, you can click on the format and you can name your labels, you can change the title, you can change the background color and all of those things. Power BI is quite rich in its visualizations. So you can do so like we did the stacked column chart. You got multiple charts here. You can do align charts, cut plot, and all of those things. And also you can create pie charts, donut charts. And on top of that, nowadays you've got the maps as well. So you can plot your map and then you can highlight the maps based on the intensity of cases. For example, in this case, as I said, Power BI is quite rich and you can do a lot of visualizations and you can even manipulate the data, transform the data before that's being plotted on the reports as well. And it is a whole topic that you can learn about. So if you're interested, you should pick up a course on Power BI and learn more about it. But for now, I hope this has given you enough to be able to plot your data that you pushed into the SQL database and visualize it and make a bit more sense. So that's the end of this session, but in the next session what I'll do is I'll show you the report that I've created as part of my project and I'll attach that as part of the course material as well. So you can use it and you can play with that. I'll see you in the next session.